Physical Description Part 3. In addition to the Mark 300 field, record the content, media, and carrier types in other Mark fields. Content is defined as a categorization reflecting the fundamental form of communication in which the content is expressed and the human sense through which it is intended to be perceived, like sight or touch. Content type also reflects the number of spatial dimensions and the presence or absence of movement in which content expressed in the form of an image or images is intended to be perceived. The original recording terms for content type are listed in RDA 6.9, but the official terminology is now housed in the RDA registry. The link will be in the PDF version of this video. As we work with books, that content is text and represented by the RDA content term text in the Mark 336 subfield A. It is also represented by the Mark code for the RDA term TXT in the Mark 336 subfield B. And, since the content term comes from the RDA content type list, a Mark 336 subfield 2 lists that source as RDA content. However, the source is now the RDA CO list in the RDA registry, but for the time being, we will continue to use RDA content specifically. That will likely be automatically replaced by OCLC and WorldCat in the future. Additionally, the content type is represented in another Mark field, called the Mark 006 fixed length data elements for additional material characteristics. This field is commonly referred to as the leader. The content type data lives in the first position or byte, which is represented by the equivalent to a subfield 00. When referred to as the leader, the content type data is in the seventh position or byte, represented by the equivalent to a subfield 06. It is also represented by the mnemonic label of type. As we work with descriptive records in WorldCat through OCLC Connection Cat Express, we will add this coded data in the fixed field with the label of type. A video specifically related to these fixed length and fixed field data elements will be added to the Week 6 module for Mark and OCLC in the near future, and you will receive a Canvas announcement when that happens. Media is defined as a means used to convey information or artistic content. The original recorded terms for media type are listed in RDA 3.2, but the official terminology is now housed in the RDA registry. The link is also in the PDF version of this slide deck. As we work with books, that media type is unmediated because there is nothing in between our senses and the content. The media type is therefore represented by the RDA term unmediated and the Mark 337 subfield A. It is also represented by the Mark code for the RDA term N in the Mark 337 subfield B. And since the media term comes from the RDA media type list, a Mark 337 subfield 2 lists that source as RDA media. However, the source is now the RDA MT list in the RDA registry, but for the time being, we will continue to use RDA media specifically. That will likely be automatically replaced by OCLC and WorldCat in the future. Carrier is defined as a physical medium in which data, sound, images, etc. are stored. The original recorded terms for carrier type are listed in RDA 3.3, but the official terminology is now housed in the RDA registry, the link to which will be in the PDF version of this slide deck. As we work with books, that carrier type is multiple sheets bound together in some way, represented by the RDA carrier type volume in the Mark 338 subfield A. It is also represented by the Mark code for the RDA term NC in the Mark 338 subfield B. And since the carrier term comes from the RDA carrier type list, A MARC 338 subfield 2 lists that source as RDA carrier. However, the source is now the RDA-CT list in the RDA registry, but for the time being, we will continue to use RDA carrier specifically. That will likely be automatically replaced by OCLC in WorldCat in the future.